Chapter 35:12. In the early morning of the weekend at South Hill Manor, the family was eating breakfast together. "Babies, Mommy is going on a business trip." "Where are you going?" Little Bean was curious. "It's not far. The neighboring city." "Oh. How many days will you be back?" 2 days. Just 2 days. "Hey, Mommy, be careful." "We'll listen to Daddy at home," Little Bean said as she ate soup dumplings. "I'm sorry. Your daddy won't be home either." Huamin chuckled. "Daddy is going on a business trip too?" Little Bean glanced at Chin Chu in surprise. "Dummy. Can't you see? Mommy is going on a business trip." "Daddy is going with Mommy," Little Bean explained. "Smart." Huamin gave Little Bean a thumbs up. "You're showing off your love so early in the morning. My sister and I will be tortured to death by you and Daddy sooner or later." "Huh. You won't be tortured to death. After all, you're biological." Huamin chuckled. "Really? Why do I feel like we're free gifts when you recharge your phone?" "We're free gifts when you recharge your phone. We won't be treated this well." It was fun to argue with his daughter all morning. "Mommy, you're going on a business trip. Don't bully me, okay? You and Little Bean must be good at home. When you go out you must—" I know. "We must take at least 4 bodyguards with us when we go out," Little Bean interrupted. "You're right. Now I'm too lazy to go out. Every time I go to the supermarket with Grandpa and Grandma, there are 4 of us. We have to take 4 bodyguards with us. Damn it. If I didn't know better, I'd think the mayor came to inspect us," Little Bean complained. "So you must practice taekwondo. When you're good at it, you won't need to take bodyguards with you," Chin Chu said. "Yeah. My goal is to be like Auntie Lu Yen. I'm invincible." Little Bean waved her little fists. She was full of admiration when she mentioned Lu Yen. Especially when she heard her mom say that she went to eat barbecue with Auntie Lingling and the others. When they encountered people who came looking for trouble, little Auntie would shout at them all. It was simply too cool. "All right, Chin Mumu, it's time to brag. Hurry up and eat. Didn't you have an appointment with Boyuan today?" Pudding reminded her. "Right then, I can't waste my time here with you. I'm going to change my clothes. Sis, what do you think I should wear?" Little Bean turned to look at Pudding. "You look best when you're not wearing it. Goodbye." Seeing her sister teasing her, Little Bean glared at her and ran away. Huamin leaned on Chin Chu's shoulder. "Honey, is it too late to change your mind now? I think you can change your mind at any time and not go on a business trip." I don't want to. I already stood her up once because of Yan's concussion. This time I have to go no matter what. I can't be unprofessional." "Then let's cut the crap. Let's go, Dr. Hua." Then Chin Chu took the initiative to help Huamin pick up some documents and carry-on bags. Huamin stood up and followed Chin Chu out. "Mian, you're pregnant now. Don't walk so fast. Be careful," her mother-in-law reminded her. "I know, Mom." At Gao Ran's house. It was the weekend, so the family of 3 was quite free. "Mr. Gao, young Master Gao, breakfast is ready. Come down and eat." Zhu Lingling yelled into the room. The father and son immediately put down the game in their hands and walked out lazily. "Son, we're both off today. Why don't we go play basketball with Dad?" Gao Ran was interested. "No," Gao Buyuan refused without hesitation. "Why not?" Gao Ran felt wronged. He finally had a day off and wanted to spend time with his son, but Chin Mumu didn't want it. Chapter 35:13. Are you a pig? Do you even need to ask? Our son has a date with his girlfriend. Zhu Lingling couldn't stand it anymore and reminded her husband. "I don't believe my son would put his girlfriend over his dad," Gao Ran said on purpose and glanced at Gao Buin. "Dad, I'm sorry you misjudged me this time." Gao Ran was speechless. Zhu Lingling, you're so funny. Son, you're so smart. Mom, is there still soup in the pot? Why does it smell mushy? Gao Buyuan asked on purpose. "Yeah, I almost forgot." "Oh my God." With that, Zhu Lingling dashed into the kitchen. Gao Buyuan glanced at his dad sitting across from him. "Chief Gao, give me 200 yuan. "Why do you need money?" "To buy a Batman." "How much is a Batman?" Gao Ran asked curiously. 79 yuan each. "Then why do you need 200 yuan? Gao Ran continued to tease his son. "I can't buy one. I'll buy a police car. I also want to buy a pink fire truck for Little Bean. That's her favorite." "Right. Even if you buy 2, they're 79 yuan. That's only 158 yuan. I plan to buy Haagen-Dazs for Little Bean with the remaining 42 yuan. 42 yuan is only enough to buy one ball. What about you? I don't want it. I'll give it to Little Bean. Son, you're so good to your girlfriend. Gao Ran sighed with a wry smile. Dad, give me the money. Mom will be back soon. Hurry up. You're afraid your mom will scold you, right? Gao Ran smirked and took out 200 yuan from his wallet and handed it to Gao Buin. Oh, I'm afraid my mom will scold you. Why would she scold me? I'm not the one who wants the money. Gao Ran didn't understand his son's logic. After all, if mom finds out you have 200 yuan, you'll be screwed. Gao Buin quickly stuffed the money into his pocket. Hey son. You win. Gao Ran suddenly realized that his son's logical thinking was amazing. She reacted very quickly at such a young age. However, it made sense. She spent all her time playing with Qin Chu and Huamin. How could she be stupid? Qin Chu drove a comfortable Mercedes SUV. In order not to attract attention, the two of them did not bring a driver or bodyguard. Qin Chu drove the car while Huamin sat in the passenger seat. At this moment his phone rang. It's Gao Ran, Huamin said after glancing at the screen. Help me answer it. Huamin picked up the phone and answered. Chief Gao, what are your instructions? Huamin, are you with Qin Chu? Yes. Where are you? We're on the highway. Mr. Qin is accompanying me on a business trip. When are you coming back? In about 2 days. What's up? Give the phone to Qin Chu first. Gao Ran's tone was serious. Qin Chu was driving and could not answer the phone, so Huamin put the earpiece on for him. What's up? Qin Chu asked. Chu, something happened at the clinic. Hu Yanyan is dead. Qin Chu guessed. It would be easy if she was dead. She's not dead. He's missing. Missing? Qin Chu frowned slightly. Yeah, she's missing. When did this happen? Last night. What about the surveillance video? Someone tampered with it. How could she run out by herself? Someone must have helped her. Did you ask Shin Mingxi? Qin Chu immediately thought of Shin Mingxi, who was related to Hu Yanyan. He knew that Shin Mingxi was a soft-hearted person. Maybe he couldn't stand Hu Yanyan's acting and became soft-hearted? I did. He was very surprised. I don't think it was him, Gao Ran said. Then we're in big trouble. Qin Chu's expression suddenly changed. Honey, what's wrong? Is Hu Yanyan missing? Huamin was confused by the conversation between the two and wasn't sure. Chapter 35:14. Okay. Qin Chu nodded with a serious look on his face. After exchanging a few words with Gao Ran, Qin Chu hung up the phone and continued driving. Hubby, I didn't do it, Huamin explained. She was really afraid that Qin Chu would think that she was soft-hearted and did it behind his back. After all, Hu Yanyan was so engrossed in her acting. Silly girl, I didn't say it was you. Qin Chu heard Huamin's words and laughed. Although I'm pregnant and become stupid for 3 years, I won't do such a stupid thing. I know that Hu Yanyan is no longer the girl with a conscience. No matter what we do, we won't be able to change her. So I won't save her. I'm not Jesus. Hu Yanyan should have been killed back then. We can only blame ourselves for being too soft-hearted. Qin Chu was very calm. Yes, and Hu Xiqian too. If only we were more ruthless and killed him when he was abroad. Huamin was very regretful now. If Qin Chu didn't care about her feelings, why would he keep Hu Xiqian in the country? In the end, he actually managed to escape from prison. Hu Xiqian's escape was originally a bomb with a lot of hidden dangers. Now with Hu Yanyan's escape, it was really troublesome. It's okay. In the adult world, there's no such thing as easy. It's a fairy tale to say that a happy life is not a real life. Qin Chu said this because he was thinking in his heart and also to comfort Huamin. Hubby, what should we do now? Are we still going to catch her? Huamin was very conflicted. In fact, she also felt that Hu Yanyan was pitiful. She was already a complete mental patient. It had not been easy for him to escape. If he were to catch him again, it would be equivalent to forcing him into a dead end. This was not something Huamin would do given his personality. There's no need for that. If Hu Yanyan escapes just to live, to escape and to start anew, we can let her go. However, if she dares to do anything to harm you or our daughter, I will definitely kill her. Qin Chu's eyes flashed coldly. Huamin knew that Qin Chu was not joking. Afterwards, Qin Chu picked up his phone and specifically instructed the bodyguards to not only stay close to the twins, but also to protect his parents, Huamin's mother and brother. He also told Tang Chuan to keep an eye on Qin Ning. In short, everyone had to be careful when that crazy woman Hui Yanyan ran out. Hubby, why don't we go back? I don't want to do it anymore. Huamin was a little nervous. You stood me up last time. If you don't keep your word this time, you will be fired as the vice director, Qin Chu joked. I won't be the director if I'm fired. It's fine, but I'm still worried about our family. It's fine. I've already made arrangements for our family. Hui Yanyan is not Hui Siqian. She can't cause any trouble alone. Although she looks crazy now, she's not stupid. She won't act rashly against us. After all, it won't end well for her. Okay. Huamin was relieved to hear Qin Chu's words and nodded. That day the two drove to the neighboring city. Huamin went to the venue to do a live commentary. The two checked into the most luxurious 5-star hotel in the area. Qin Chu stayed by her side all the time. In the evening, while Qin Chu was taking a shower, Huamin's phone rang. Hello. Looking at the string of strange numbers, Huamin was a little excited. Dr. Hua, I want to register. It was Lu Yan's funny voice on the other end. I knew it was you. Damn girl, why didn't you call me until now? Hearing Lu Yan's voice, Huamin felt all his worries disappear. Chapter 35:15. Don't mention it. I'm as busy as a dog. Oh no, even a dog isn't as busy as me, Lu Yan complained. Huamin was about to ask where Yan was when he remembered that his phone was being monitored. So he changed the question. How are you? Do you miss your twin nieces? Of course I do. Why wouldn't I? How are they? Do they miss me? Of course. He cried the day you left. Pudding didn't say it out loud, but I'm sure she felt the same way. When she was upset, she would just sit there and stare blankly into space. She wouldn't talk to anyone. Hee. The two brats are kind. I didn't waste tens of millions. Lu Yan was pleased. By the way, Yenin came to see me that day. What did he want? He bought you something and asked me to send it to you if it's convenient. What the hell? Lu Yan was puzzled. He said it's food. And said you like to eat some nostalgic Chinese snacks from the 90s. Is that right? Does White Rabbit creamy candy count? Lu Yan remembered that when she was shopping with An, she saw a convenience store on the street and bought a lot of it. You have a weird taste. Huamin chuckled. He's really greedy. Huamin was surprised that An had made it so obvious. Why is Xiao An still doing these meaningless things? He meant well. Do you have time to receive it? Give me an address. Come on. I'm already in this state. I have to hide just to make a phone call. You want to kill me by sending me something by mail? Then what should I do? Should I send it back? But that's not a good idea. No. You can leave it for Little Bean and Pudding. You guys can eat it. Forget it. He gave it to you. How about this? Next time you come, I'll keep it for you. It won't expire easily anyway. Dr. Hua, you said that because you want me to visit you in China, right? Lu Yan was smug again. What do you think? Sister, I know you miss me, but I have something to deal with now. I really can't go back. Just then, Huamin was about to speak when he heard a voice say, Boss, young Master Qiao is calling for you. Yan, are you with Qiao Fei? Yes. Then I'm relieved. Right, that's it then. Sis, I'm going to get busy. Talk to you later. Then Lu Yan hung up. Huamin seemed to have gotten used to Lu Yan's impulsive behavior. He was always thinking about her. However, he knew that his sister was a female bandit, so he didn't have to worry about her. After hanging up the phone with Yan, Huamian still felt like she hadn't done anything. After thinking for a while, he finally remembered that he wanted to send a WeChat message to Han Yueyao and ask her how she was doing. After all, Auntie Sue had asked her to take care of her. The two of them had secretly added each other on WeChat before dinner that day. Huamin opened his WeChat and found the girl's profile picture. She was a cute little bunny with a red face. Her name was funny. It was Wang Zai Little Bun. Huamin, Yao Yao. Han Yueyao, Sister Mian. Han Yueyao replied instantly. Huamin, you're still awake, right? I didn't disturb you? Han Yueyao, no. I usually sleep late. Huamin, how was your dorm last night? Han Yueyao, it was great. The dorm at Imperial Star is luxurious. 2 people share a room. It's very luxurious. But my roommate didn't come back last night, so I didn't see her. Huamin, are you scared? Han Yueyao, no. I'm not a kid anymore. Huamin, okay. It's good. Did Siu contact you later? Huamin vaguely remembered that Su Yu and Han Yueyao had added each other on WeChat after dinner. Of course, Su Yu did it for Huamin's sake. Otherwise, he wouldn't have added a girl he didn't know. Han Yueyao, no. Huamin, oh. It's okay. Don't worry. Su Yu is usually very busy. You can talk to him more. Han Yueyao, Sister Mian, do you think Su Yu and I are suitable? Chapter 35:16. Huamin was surprised by the girl's sudden question. He hesitated for a moment. Huamin said, of course. Didn't you see how much Mrs. Su likes you? Han Yueyao said, but don't you think it's inappropriate for our families to be incompatible? Huamin said, in this day and age, who cares about matching families? Han Yueyao said, Sister Mian, to tell you the truth, I think the words left by our ancestors are quite reasonable. Su Yu and I are very different in all aspects. I know we have different interests, so we can't get along well in the future. Huamin said, who said that? I'm just a girl from an ordinary family, but my husband is from a rich family. Look at us, aren't we? Our children are all grown up. Huamin said this to encourage the girl because he found the girl's attitude was a bit negative. Han Yueyao said, Sister Mian, you and your husband are childhood sweethearts and have known each other since high school. After so many years, you two are like family. It's different from my situation with Su Yu. I'm just a girl who just stepped out of society. How can I match up to Mr. Su, who's from an illustrious family? Huamin thought for a while and replied to her. Huamian, Yao, let me tell you something. Don't you want to listen to me? If that's what you want, why did you come here? Don't you know that you're Mrs. Su's future daughter-in-law? He wants you to date Su Yu. Otherwise, why do you think they're working so hard for you? Han Yueyao said, Sister Mian, I'm not angry. Han Yueyao said, Sister Mian, I'm not angry. I understand your question. In fact, I plan to tell you later, but since we're talking about this topic, I'll tell you the truth. Maybe many women dream of marrying Su Yu, but that's not true love. It's not marrying Su Yu, it's marrying the Su family. I don't like this kind of life, but for a girl like me who just graduated and has no background and connections, this is another opportunity. So I think, she paused purposely. Huamin suddenly understood. You want to take this opportunity to enter Imperial Star and become a star? Huamin made a bold guess. That's right. That's what I think. Why is it so important to be a celebrity? It's not easy to get flowers and applause. There's a lot of darkness behind it that you can't see, Huamin advised. Sister Mian, I'm not doing this for flowers, applause, vanity, or tens of thousands of fans. My idea is simple. My parents put a lot of effort into sending me to school and I want to repay them. But with my qualifications, if I go out and look for a job, I'll only make a few thousand yuan a month. In a first-tier city like ours, a few thousand yuan isn't even enough for a month's living expenses. So I want to take a shortcut. As long as I'm an artist, even if I'm not famous, I can be a small-time star, play some small roles and run some errands. I can make tens of thousands a month, right? You're doing this for money? Huamin frowned slightly. That's right. Maybe you think I'm a layman, but I'm here for the money. I want my parents to live a comfortable life for the rest of their lives, but I'm too pretentious to sell myself out. Looking at my classmates and best friends around me, all of them are kept by rich people, or they're flirting with rich second-generation heirs. To be honest, I don't think that's something I can do. My parents are so traditional. If they knew what I did, they'd beat me to death. So I've decided that I'd rather work harder and earn more money so that my parents can live a comfortable life. So you don't want to marry Su Yu? Huamin finally understood her original intention. Of course he was shocked. Chapter 35:17. Sort of, Han Yueyao admitted frankly. But as Su Yu's friend, Huamin felt uncomfortable. Yao, you're using Auntie Su. Do you know that? Sister Mian, Auntie Su is using you too. Huamin, she knows Su Yu likes you, but she still persuaded you to introduce other girls to Su Yu. She knows that Su Yu will listen to you and give you face. You know it, right? It's different. I owe the Su family a favor. Sister Mian, don't take it too seriously. There are no fixed rules in life. If you know the result, you won't do it. Don't worry about it. I don't have any improper thoughts about Su Yu. I'm young, but I know who I am. I don't want to do things that are beyond my ability. Now that I've entered Imperial Star, I want to work hard to make money. I won't do anything to hurt Su Yu. Don't worry about it. And you've done everything you should do. You should have told Auntie Sue. As for what Auntie Sue thinks, it's not something she can control. Tell me, am I right? The 25-year-old Han Yueyao's thoughtful words surprised Huamin. At first he thought the girl was a good girl. At least she didn't play any tricks at the dinner party. But now he knew the girl was smart and knew what she was thinking. If you put it that way, I understand. Huamian didn't say anything else. Sister Mian, thank you. Whether it's Auntie Sue's request or not, I want to thank you for giving me the opportunity to enter Imperial Star. I'll work hard. Good luck. After the simple conversation, Huamin had mixed feelings. When Qin Chu came out of the shower, he saw Huamin in a daze. What are you thinking about? Dr. Hua? Honey, what do you think of Han Yueyao? Han Yueyao. Qin Chu never paid attention to people he didn't care about, so he didn't remember her name. She's the girl who had dinner with Suyu yesterday. Auntie Sue brought her over. Oh, her. I can't tell. After all, we've only known each other for a short time. What's your first impression? Huamin believed that Qin Chu had seen a lot of people. He would definitely be able to tell something from his first impression. My first impression of her was okay. She didn't talk much and didn't interrupt. She had a good upbringing and didn't try to impress Suyu. Overall, she was okay. Qin Chu commented on Han Yueyao's performance that day. What's wrong? Is there something wrong with this girl? No, I think this girl is quite good. What do you mean by good? Qin Chu leaned against the headboard and chatted with Huamin. I just think she's good at first impression. If she can get along well with Suyu, she'll be a good choice. Then Xing Ro is out of the game, right? Xing Ro. I'm not sure. The girl looks okay, but I feel something is wrong. It's just a feeling. I can't put my finger on it. Huamin compared the two girls carefully and found he felt more comfortable when he chatted with Han Yueyao. The next morning, Qin Chu accompanied Huamin to the hospital they worked with for inspection. They went there too early and the doctors and nurses had just started work, so no one noticed them. The moment they walked in, they heard some young nurses gossiping at the reception desk. Have you heard? The deputy director of the Southern District of Sea City came to a meeting yesterday. I heard that she brought a very handsome man with her and followed him closely. Do you think it's her gigolo? Chapter 35:18. Upon hearing this, Huamin almost fell to the ground. What kind of logic was this? Was he keeping a gigolo? Huamin turned to look at Mr. Qin and saw that his face had darkened as well. Ah, gigolo, you're so expensive, I really can't afford to keep you. Huamin whispered as he hugged Qin Chu. Dr. Hua, please pay me this month's maintenance fee. I don't have money, but I have a life. Oh no, 2 lives. Huamin rubbed his belly. If you don't have money, why are you keeping a gigolo? The husband and wife were about to play this joke too much. Finally, seeing that it was about time, Huamin walked up and asked, Excuse me, where's Director Zhang's office? Are you a patient? Director Zhang doesn't make house calls anymore, and then the nurse glanced at Huamin's belly. He doesn't make house calls for pregnant women either. I'm not a patient, I have business with Director Zhang. Do you have an appointment? Oh. Then I'm sorry, Director Zhang can't receive clients without an appointment. Really? Then tell him that Vice Director Hua of Sea City is here to see him. Vice Director Hua, where is he? The nurse looked behind her. I'm Vice Director Hua, Huamin said calmly. Immediately, a wave of boos came from behind him. You really are? The nurse still didn't believe him. Yes, if you don't believe me, I'll show you the evidence. Then Huamin pointed at Mr. Qin behind him and said with a straight face, This is the gigolo I keep. Then the nurses looked at Huamin and then at the man behind him, dumbfounded. Please wait a moment, I'll go report this immediately. Scared, the nurse immediately turned around and called her supervisor. Huamin couldn't help but laugh out loud. These gossipy women, where did they hear this gossip from? It was hilarious. Sea City Yulong Hot Spring Hotel. It was old Madam Shin's 80th birthday. The Shin family did not want to invite too many people, so they chose to keep a low profile and held it in the suburbs. The people who came were all relatives and friends of the Shin family. There were no business partners. Shin Mingxi was the last person to contact Wei Ying. Of course, he didn't expect Wei Ying to come. Ever since the Chinese Valentine's Day, although their relationship had gotten closer, it was still subtle. Wei Ying came with a female companion who was also a socialite in the circle. The two of them were wearing evening gowns, one red and one white, which were very appropriate. Wei Ying wanted to keep a low profile. In order not to steal the limelight and be gossiped about, she dressed appropriately and didn't seek attention. Ying, are you really going to rekindle your relationship with Shen Mingxi? No, don't talk nonsense. We're just friends. But look at what happened to the Shen family. You're too proactive. You even cancelled your plane ticket just to celebrate old Madame Shen's birthday. Is it worth it? Do you think they appreciate it? I don't need them to appreciate it. Granny Shen used to treat me pretty well. I can't be heartless. The two of them walked in as they talked. Seeing Wei Ying, Shen Mingxi immediately walked over. Mrs. Shen also took Wei Ying's hand warmly. Ying, I haven't seen you for a long time. You look more energetic than before. Wei Ying smiled gently. At this moment a commotion came from the door. Young Master Shen, look. That's Shen Mingxi's friend, reminded him. He turned around and looked toward the door. Then his body shook. It was the woman who should be locked up in a mental hospital, Hu Yanyan. She was wearing a long black dress that exposed her shoulders. Her makeup was exquisite but a little strange. She slowly walked toward Shen Mingxi. Chapter 35:19. Why are you here? Shen Mingxi's face was full of shock. Mingxi, I was wrong. I'll be a good girl from now on. Please don't send me back to that place, okay? Hu Yanyan's innocent eyes glistened with tears. She looked so delicate and weak. Before Shen Mingxi could speak, Hu Yanyan glanced at Wei Ying. Miss Wei, can you help me persuade Mingxi? I definitely won't hold you back. You two can go out and get a room or stay at home. I won't interfere. I just hope that Mingxi won't leave me. I don't want to go back to the mental hospital either. Hu Yanyan's sudden change stunned Wei Ying. She didn't even know how to respond. There were many onlookers. Some gossipy people even took out their cell phones and took pictures. Miss Wei, I beg you. I'll kneel before you, okay? Please have mercy on me and don't kill me. I was wrong in the past. I'm willing to be your slave from now on. I just want you to give me food to eat. Hu Yanyan, what are you talking about? Wei Ying widened her eyes in disbelief. At this point Hu Yanyan really knelt down. She kowtowed to Wei Ying and Shen Mingxi in front of so many people. Please, I beg of you, for the sake of my pitiful state, give me a way out. What are you doing? You damned woman, how dare you show up here? Why don't you go to hell? My son is in this state because of you. Do you know you almost killed him in a car accident? Shen Mingxi's mother finally couldn't stand it anymore. She walked up to Hu Yanyan and scolded her. Auntie Shen, I'm sorry. It's all my fault. Hit me or scold me. I deserve it. Shen Mingxi's mother pulled Hu Yanyan's hair and yelled hysterically. Security. Are all the security guards dead? Take this crazy woman out. I'm not mentally ill. Why is your Shen family so cruel? Why do you have to lock me up and force my daughter to go abroad? Why won't you even let the child go? Hu Yanyan cried as she spoke. Wei Ying was infuriated by Hu Mian's lies. Hu Yanyan, do you have a conscience? Your daughter is going abroad to study and her school fees are in the hundreds of thousands. Mingxi is the one who paid for it. He treated you and your daughter so well and now you're accusing him of it. There's a saying that is true. Great kindness makes great enmity. I think Mingxi is too nice to you and that's why you're bullying him so recklessly. Wei Ying thought Shen Mingxi's attitude was too soft. That was why Hu Yanyan the scum was still alive. If Qin Chu and Su Yu had the same temperament, they would have killed Hu Yanyan a long time ago. Miss Wei, you're right. I won't argue with you. Please don't send me back, Hu Yanyan cried as she knelt before Wei Ying. At this moment she looked like a stray dog. Come with me. Suppressing the anger in his heart, Shen Mingxi grabbed Hu Yanyan's hand and led her into the hotel. In the lounge of the hotel, Shen Mingxi pushed Hu Yanyan into the room. With a cold face he said, Hu Yanyan, what on earth are you up to? Hee, aren't you curious as to how I managed to escape? Were you surprised? Were you surprised? Shen Mingxi, you didn't expect this, did you? Entering the lounge with only the two of them, Hu Yanyan's expression changed. Chapter 35:20. What on earth do you want? I want you to suffer for the rest of your life. Hearing Hu Yanyan's vicious words, Shen Mingxi threw his head back and laughed. Ha, good, very good. What are you thinking? Hu Yanyan stared at him coldly. The story of the farmer and the snake as expected. Hu Yanyan, you're heartless. When the Hu Xiqian family fell, you were kicked out of the family by Hu Xiqian. You married an old man in a hurry and gave birth to a child. Then you were betrayed and went to work as a salesperson. I saved you and your mother out of kindness. I didn't expect you to repay my kindness, but I didn't expect you to bite the hand that feeds you. Shin Mingxi, don't you understand? If you weren't weak and went to sue you, we wouldn't be where we are today. Why did you betray me? Betray you? No, I betrayed an evil force. Hui Yanyan, I'm a normal person. Although I'm not a kind person, I'm not evil either. The things your mother and brother did were unforgivable. All I can say is that I did what I should do. You're my man. Shouldn't you be on my side? Hui Yanyan retorted loudly. Just because we're together, I have to protect you even if you commit murder and arson? Isn't that the case? Ah, what a logic. Shin Mingxi laughed bleakly. I'm telling you, since I've escaped, I'm definitely not going back. If you dare to do anything to me, people will definitely know because there are already people watching you all the time. If you don't want to go to prison, you'd better be polite to me. What do you want? Money? Plane tickets? House? Car? Passport? Are you looking for Tian Tian in Singapore? Why would I look for her? Can she help me get revenge? You want revenge? Shin Mingxi looked at Hui Yanyan in disbelief. He thought she came out to extort money from him and then go abroad. However, he didn't expect that Hui Yanyan's goal wasn't this. Of course I want revenge. I have nothing left and I have to take it back bit by bit. I told you, Shin Mingxi, just wait and see. I won't let you and Wei Ying live happily ever after. Wei Ying and I were never together. Shin Mingxi smiled bitterly. Ever since the divorce, he and Wei Ying had never really gotten back together. His previous proposal was also ruined by Wei Liao, so it was quite ironic. Who would believe your bullshit? Just wait for my revenge. I won't let anyone who has hurt me off so easily. With that, Hui Yanyan shoved Shin Mingxi aside, opened the door and walked out. Inside the meeting place, Hui Yanyan walked up to Wei Ying and smiled slightly. His smile made Wei Ying's hair stand on end. Miss Wei, I don't mind your relationship with Mingxi. You don't have to feel embarrassed. Mingxi and I aren't what you think? Wei Ying was angry. It's okay. Even if it's what I think, I really don't mind. Thank you for taking care of him for me. Now that I'm back, we can take care of him together. Of course, you're a socialite and have status, so you can be the older one and I'll be the younger one. What do you think? You're crazy. Wei Ying thought his words were too melodramatic and ridiculous. Hui Yanyan, what are you talking about? Shin Mingxi explained in time. I'm just expressing what you think, right, Ms. Wei? Wei Ying couldn't stand it anymore and said with a cold face, Auntie Mingxi, I'm leaving. Shin Mingxi was about to chase after her. Hui Yanyan grabbed his arm. Mingxi, I just came back. Shouldn't you be with me? Spend time with her on Mondays, Wednesdays and Fridays. Tuesdays, Thursdays and Saturdays are mine, okay? Chapter 35-21. Hui Yanyan, you're crazy. Ignoring everyone's strange looks, Shin Mingxi pushed Hui Yanyan away roughly and immediately got up to chase after Wei Ying. He didn't want Wei Ying to misunderstand. At the hotel, let me explain. No need, I understand. She definitely wasn't released by you. Yeah. I was shocked to see her too. People like Hui Yanyan are crazy. My brother is right. You were soft-hearted and took care of her and her mother, but now you've gotten yourself into so much trouble. Mingxi, you can't be too soft-hearted. Otherwise you'll be too nice. Yeah. I admit it was my fault. It's no use apologizing to me. Think of a way to solve your problem. Littling, then sorry. I'm tired. I'll go back now. Bye. When Wei Ying saw Hui Yanyan, she suddenly felt a headache coming on. All the unhappy memories of the past came to her mind. For her, they were the worst memories of her life. When they had dinner together, she had heard her sister-in-law, Jiang Xiaowei and Huamin talk about it. Hui Yanyan was a hopeless person. Shin Mingxi didn't dare to take responsibility for everything. If it weren't for Shin Mingxi, Hui Yanyan and the baby would have died under Hu Xiqian's claws. So much trouble wouldn't have happened. Now not only Hui Yanyan, but her daughter also treated Shin Mingxi badly. Wei Ying suddenly felt very tired. Why was the man she had loved since she was a little girl like this? Why didn't Huamin and Qin Chu, who had been married since they were little, have such problems? He felt very tired. She admitted that she still loved Shin Mingxi and couldn't forget everything that had happened between them. However, Hui Yanyan's incessant pestering exhausted Wei Ying both physically and mentally. She felt indescribable despair. After Wei Ying left, Hui Yanyan left before the security guards came to chase her away. The Shin family's birthday banquet was originally going well, but it was ruined by this woman. They were also very angry. On a secluded path near the hotel, a black BMW X6 was parked there. Hui Yanyan put on her sunglasses and got into the car. "How is it?" the man asked. "Of course there's no problem. Everything is going according to plan." "Not bad. It seems that I didn't save you for nothing. After all, I risked my life. If Qin Chu knew about this, I would have to bear the consequences." Hui Yanyan smiled. "Don't worry, I won't let you make a loss. You saved me, so it's definitely worth it. They all say that you're mentally ill, but why do I feel that not only are you not ill but you're also very smart? They wanted me dead, so of course they slandered me. I'm not mentally ill. I'm very sane. But I have to remind you that it's not my job to deal with Qin Chu and Hu Min. I won't help you." Hearing the man's words, Hui Yanyan sneered in disdain. "Of course I know. I don't need your help. Hu Min. I don't have the ability to deal with him now. Wait until I deal with Shen Mingxi." At the headquarters of Imperial Star, when Suyu was about to get off work, he happened to pass by the trainees' dance studio. More than a dozen girls were practicing in the studio wearing the same clothes. But Han Yueyao stood out among the girls. Even without makeup, she was still very pretty. "President Su, how are these new girls?" Suyu asked. "They're talented and hardworking. When the preliminaries begin, we'll know their true abilities. Are there any new girls who perform particularly well?" "Yes, President Su. The girl in the middle of the first row is the captain of the new girls. She's been here for almost 2 months. Her name is Gao Yeruo. She's obviously experienced and smart with good potential. The new girl yesterday is Han Yueyao. Yes, I should call her Han Yueyao. She's good at dancing and a fast learner. She's also very pretty." Suyu stood outside the glass door deep in thought and looked inside. Chapter 35-22. When Suyu looked inside, the girl happened to look outside as well. When their eyes met, Han Yueyao quickly turned her head away. At this moment, Gao Yeruo saw them and looked at the door warily. When she saw Suyu, she was surprised. Then she turned her head and asked Han Yueyao, "Do you know President Su?" "No," Han Yueyao refuted calmly. She knew she had to be careful with her words in this group of women. On the surface, these trainees all called each other sisters. In fact, they all secretly wanted the other trainees to be eliminated so that the company could promote her. The quarrel between these little trainees was sometimes even more intense than the quarrel between superstars. Seeing Han Yueyao deny it, Gao Yeruo didn't say anything else and the group continued dancing. "Take care of Han Yueyao." Before he left, Suyu said to Hu Mian, "Hey, President Su, don't worry. I'll take good care of these talented girls." Then Suyu left. At noon, when the trainees were eating in the cafeteria, Han Yueyao quietly found a corner with her plate and sat down. 2 trainees deliberately came over and sat across from her, trying to please her. Yao, let's gossip. Our group of trainees has been selected. How did you get in?" "Now everyone says you have a backer. Can you tell us who your backer is? So that we can bask in your glory?" Han Yueyao ate silently and then replied without looking up. "Yes, a distant relative sister said she knows the higher-ups of our company and recommended me. Of course, my sister isn't that capable. She said if I got in, I have to work hard and rely on myself. If I get eliminated, it's my bad luck." So that's how it is." We thought you were personally appointed by President Su." "No, I don't know President Su well." Han Yueyao didn't want to talk about her relationship with Suyu. She wasn't stupid enough to go around telling everyone that Suyu was her backer. Not only would she implicate Suyu, but she would also be envied by others. With that said, those people might let down their guard. Sure enough, after asking around, the 2 trainees took their plates and ran to Gao Yeruo's table to tell on her. "Yeruo, don't worry. I don't think President Su sent her here. She seems to be an older sister who is close to the executives of Imperial Star. But you know, we don't give face to the executives. It's fine that she got in through the back door, but she can't stand out among us. Yeah, Yeruo, we're all on your side. You don't have to be afraid of Han Yueyao." Gao Yeruo smiled. "She's just a newbie. Why would I be afraid of her?" "That's right. He's just a newcomer. How dare he compare himself to our Yeruo? He's really courting death." Where there were people there would be Jianghu. Where there was Jianghu there would be right and wrong. A place with a lot of women was even more of an indecent place. In the dance academy, Han Yueyao was used to seeing people with two mouths, so she wasn't surprised at all. No matter what others said, she still had to dance, sing, and learn how to perform. After lunch, she saw that she still had time, so she decided to go back to the dorm and sleep for an hour. Unexpectedly, when she pushed open the door and entered, the girl inside happened to be changing her clothes and was completely naked. "I'm sorry. Han Yueyao felt guilty and quickly closed the door. "It's okay. Come in." The girl had short hair that reached her ears and looked very sweet and cute. This was the first time Han Yueyao saw her since she came here. She didn't expect to see her like this. Chapter 35-23. "I'm sorry. I didn't know you were changing." Han Yueyao apologized again when she came in. "I don't care about that." The girl didn't seem to care. Han Yueyao walked to her bed and sat down. "Are you new here?" "Yeah." "Then why did you move into my dorm? Didn't they tell you anything?" "No." "What's wrong with the dorm?" Han Yueyao looked puzzled. "The dorm is fine, but I have a problem." The girl smiled and sat down on her bed facing Han Yueyao. She took out a pack of Red Panda cigarettes from her pocket. Han Yueyao knew this kind of cigarette. Her classmates in the dance academy smoked it too. It cost more than 30 yuan per pack. "Do you want one?" "No. Thank you." Han Yueyao waved her hand and refused. "What's your name?" Han Yueyao. "Yu as in the moon and Yao as in the Yaoqi lake." "Su Xiaoxiao," the girl said. "Wow. This name sounds familiar." Han Yueyao exclaimed. "Yeah. Anyone who studied history knows that she was the #1 courtesan in Enchanting in the Southern Dynasty." "Oh. I remember Su Shi's sister was also called Su Xiaoxiao," Han Yueyao explained. "Who cares? I don't care. I think she's delicious." "Yeah. It's a good name. Xiaoxiao, how come I haven't seen you practice in the past 2 days? Since she lived here, she must be a trainee." But Su Xiaoxiao never went to the classroom or the cafeteria. "Because I don't have to practice anymore. I just signed a contract for a movie and it'll start shooting next month." "Wow. That's awesome." "Not just awesome. You have a powerful background. Nowadays, who can be so lucky without a powerful background? Do you really believe that good things can fall from the sky?" Han Yueyao didn't know what to say when Su Xiaoxiao told her the truth without hesitation. "Those bitches don't like me. They say I'm not a good person and that I won't be famous even if I take on a show. I'm full of bad news. In their eyes, Gao Yarou is the goddess. She's the only one who has a chance to be famous. But I advise you to stay away from that woman. She's vicious." "Yeah. I'll be careful. Thank you for the reminder." At this time, Su Xiaoxiao had almost finished her cigarette. She threw it on the ground and stepped on it. Then he got up and picked up his coat. "I'm going out. Are you coming back tonight?" she asked casually. "I'm not coming back. You can lock the door yourself. I have some makeup products on the table and some imported facial cleanser. You can use them all." "No need, I've brought my own." Han Yueyao declined Su Xiaoxiao's kindness. "All right then, that's all. See you again if there's a chance." After saying that, the girl turned around and left. Han Yueyao felt Su Xiaoxiao was about the same age as her and looked younger than her. However, the way he smoked was very skillful, and he was especially daring to speak without any scruples. This kind of personality was really unparalleled. During the afternoon training, another woman beside her asked, "Did you see that chicken in the dormitory today?" "Chicken? What chicken?" Han Yueyao was surprised. She rarely comes back to the dormitory and doesn't come to class. She's like a dead person. They were going to fire her, but she's so capable. She slept with a director or a producer and she actually took on a show. For the sake of the company's interests, naturally they won't fire her. "You mean Su Xiaoxiao?" Hearing the girl's words, Han Yueyao understood. "That's right, you should stay away from her in the future. Do you know what she does outside?" The girl deliberately lowered her voice and said mysteriously. Chapter 35-24. Han Yueyao shook her head, indicating she didn't know. "She's a prostitute." Han Yueyao didn't speak because she didn't understand. The girl lowered her voice and said mysteriously, "She's a prostitute. Don't be fooled by her appearance. She's very vain at such a young age. Look at her makeup, bags and even shoes. They cost tens of thousands of yuan. If she's really a socialite, why would she be a trainee? That's why I'm saying that she's definitely kept by a man outside. And I heard that there's more than one. Look at how dirty she is. Don't play with her. Be careful not to be led astray. We're going to be celebrities in the future. If someone finds out about us, we'll be done for. We're classmates. Don't talk about her like that. Han Yueao thought it wasn't good to speak ill of Su Xiaoxiao behind her back. Besides, she didn't know her well. Don't be afraid. Even if she's here, I'll say the same thing. Forget it. I know you don't know anything. Seeing Han Yueyao's lack of reaction, the girl lost interest and didn't want to say more. In the afternoon, after another afternoon of vocal music lessons, everyone left the classroom. When Han Yueyao walked out, Mr. Ji, who was in charge of the trainees, walked toward her slowly. Mr. Ji was a famous talent scout in China. Later he became old and retired. It was said that Su Yu hired him with a large sum of money to train more superstars for Imperial Star. Mr. Ji, Han Yueyao greeted him politely. How are you in the first few days? Are you used to it? Is the dance a bit too hard? It's okay. I can handle it. I've been learning this since I was a child. I don't feel tired. Good. You're patient and low-key. Since you're here, you must study hard. I will, Mr. Ji. President Su is here today. Do you know? He's the big boss of our company. I know. He stood outside for a long time watching you guys practice. He asked me to take care of you. I guess you must have a good foundation. He thinks you have potential and wants to train you well. Really? That's great. She suddenly felt guilty, thinking it wasn't right for her to pretend not to know Su Yu. Then go ahead and work hard. All right. After saying goodbye to Ms. Ji, Han Yueyao returned to her dorm room in exhaustion. She took a shower and changed into a new set of clothes. Then they went to the snack street near the company to eat. The company's cafeteria was closed at night, but the company would give everyone a dinner allowance of 30 yuan a day. For those picky girls, 30 yuan was definitely not enough. But Han Yueyao was different. She had suffered a lot since elementary school. First of all, snacks were prohibited. Moreover, they had to be weighed once a week. If they were overweight, they would be hit in the palm. As for those KFC burgers, fried chicken legs, spicy hot pot, shredded pancakes, rujiamo and so on, she could only look but not eat. Things like ice cream were even more out of reach. He was already satisfied just by looking at it. In the end, she walked into a Muslim restaurant called Lanzhou Ramen and ordered a small bowl of noodles. Then she lowered her head and ate. Not far away, a man was hiding behind a hidden building and taking pictures of her, who was unaware of what was going on. On the viaduct on the way back from school, the twins sat in a black minivan. Behind them was a Range Rover. Both cars were filled with bodyguards personally selected by Qin Chu. Sis, what are you thinking about? Little Bean saw her sister in a daze. Little Bean, I think I saw that woman just now. Pudding said uneasily. Chapter 35-25. Which woman? Is Tweety's mom. Pudding wasn't sure either. After school, the bodyguard greeted them with an umbrella at the door. When the twins walked out, Pudding thought she saw Hui Yinyan's face in the crowd. Oh my god, is it that bad woman? Wasn't she crazy? Didn't mommy say that she was locked up and wouldn't run around? I don't know. I'm not sure. It looks like it. Pudding recalled carefully. Not necessarily. There are many people who look alike in this world. Maybe she's one of our classmates' mothers. Little Bean comforted her sister. Yes. Don't be afraid, sister. I'll protect you. Bullshit. You can't even protect yourself. How can you protect me? Pudding looked at Little Bean with disdain. I can call Little Ant. Haha, when Little Ant comes, we'll immediately wipe them out. In Little Ant's words, we'll blow them all up. Little Bean was so happy that she danced with joy. But after a while, she immediately became depressed. Sis, I miss Auntie so much. Little Bean pouted. Me too. Pudding sighed slightly. After Lu Yen left, she didn't even call the kids. When I grow up, I want to follow Auntie. You're so fat. It would be strange if Auntie accepted you. I don't know how to lose weight. As long as Auntie is willing to accept me, I'd rather not eat sweets. I want to become a superhero. I want to be as powerful as Auntie. Only a fool would believe you. Why are you looking down on me? Let me tell you, you should say that even ghosts won't believe me. Why would I give up on my favorite ice cream? Do you have a split personality? Pudding rolled her eyes when she saw Little Bean talking to herself. Top floor of Dubai Al Garb Hotel. The suite, which was a few hundred square meters, was resplendent. Even the coffee table and bathtub were made of gold. It was extremely luxurious. The entire room was filled with the smell of nouveau riche. It was said that the price of 10,000 yuan was hundreds of thousands. But even so, the rooms were often full and the supply could not meet the demand. Some people said that there were no poor people in Dubai. Even the taxis were Porsches. Some people said that even a beggar here could earn 400,000 yuan a month. This was the world of the rich, the cradle of gold. It was said that the pets of the rich people here were no longer ordinary animals. Cats and dogs were nothing compared to them. The rich people here raised lions, tigers, and crocodiles. It was truly breathtaking. When Hua Xiqian woke up, he found himself lying on a big, soft bed. "You're awake?" Upon hearing the woman's voice, Hua Xiqian slowly stood up. He narrowed his eyes and looked at the woman standing beside the bed. She was tall and had long black hair. She should be Asian. She wore a golden mask that covered half of her face. But from her voice, she should be a young woman. She was wearing a white Arabian dress, but it seemed to have been modified. Looked a little strange. Most importantly, she had spoken to Hua Xiqian in Chinese. "Where is this place? Who are you?" Hua Xiqian asked. "Dubai." "What? Dubai?" Hua Xiqian tried to recall, but he couldn't remember a lot of things. The last thing he remembered was that he was in a prison in China. He missed Mian so much that he wanted to see her like crazy. Why did he suddenly come to Dubai? What in the world had happened? "If it weren't for me, you would have died at Lu Yan's hands. Do you know that?" Lu Yan. Hua Xiqian closed his eyes and tried hard to remember. "Don't think about it. Jack did it. Of course you don't remember it clearly. To put it simply, Jack broke out of prison, but Lu Yan intercepted him and almost killed him. Our people arrived in time to save you. Who are you?" Hua Xiqian immediately became alert and looked at the woman with the golden mask. Chapter 35-26. You don't have the right to know who I am. Why did you save me? You should at least tell me, right? Of course. You're very close to Huamin, aren't you? Hearing the name Huamin, Hua Xiqian subconsciously became more vigilant. He wouldn't allow anyone to harm Huamin. No one. Please don't be so nervous. Our ultimate goal isn't Huamin. She's useless to us. Then who are you looking for? Huamin's biological father. You should know, right? Professor Lu? Hua Xiqian suddenly understood. That's right. Professor Lu has something our master wants, but Old Man Lu is too difficult to catch. He's very sneaky, so I think we need to start with his daughter. What do you think? In your dreams. I won't let you do that. Don't even think about hurting Mian. You're indeed infatuated. But do you know? If Jack hadn't controlled you to break out of prison that day, do you know that Qin Chu and Huamin would have teamed up to kill you? So what? I'm willing to die in Mian's hands. You're crazy. You're really stubborn, but it doesn't matter. With that, the golden-masked woman took out a small pink bottle. What do you want? Hua Xiqian was on guard and wanted to get up and attack the woman. However, he found that he couldn't exert any strength at all. Our master said that since it's the two of you, if we can't reach an agreement with you, we'll have to talk to the other person in your body. With that, the golden-masked woman pinched Hua Xiqian's chin hard. She poured all the powder in the pink bottle into Hua Xiqian's mouth. He struggled with all his might, but it was useless. He didn't know what these people did to him, but he couldn't use any strength at all. No matter how good his hands were, they were useless. Although he didn't know what these people were doing, they didn't seem to be good people. He really wanted to protect his sister, but there was nothing he could do. Before he fainted, Hua Xiqian's mind was still filled with the image of the young girl with a ponytail, Huamin. Half an hour later, when Hua Xiqian woke up again, the look in his eyes had changed. I know you two have the same memory, so I won't explain much. We want to deal with that old man, Professor Lu, so we have to start with his daughter, Huamin, and you have to cooperate with us. Of course, Huamin, that little bitch, I will definitely make her die a horrible death. Jack smiled viciously. Domestic Huamin and Qin Chu were supposed to rush back after the meeting. However, Huamin suddenly felt that the fetal movement was very strong and did not dare to leave. She went to the hospital with Qin Chu for a checkup. The doctor suggested that she was too tired recently and should stay one more night before leaving. As a doctor, Hwamin knew that the doctor wasn't exaggerating. Therefore, even though she wanted to go home and miss the twins, she decided to stay one more night for the sake of the babies in her stomach. At night, Hwamin felt too bored, so she discussed with Chin-Chu about going to the nearby park or square. Therefore, the couple went to a crowded square near the hospital. Every night there would be square dancing at 7 o'clock. "Honey, I want to eat cotton candy." "Are you a child?" Chin-Chu laughed. "Your son wants to eat cotton candy. You finally found someone to take the blame for you, right? When the child is born, I'll tell him how much his mother made him take the blame." "It's okay, my son will understand." Chin-Chu took off his coat dotingly and put it on Hwamin. Then he turned around and went to buy cotton candy. Hwamin sat near the flower bed and watched the square dancing. "Auntie, you are so beautiful." A little girl about 5 or 6 years old walked over. Hwamin smiled. "Auntie, you really look like my mother, but she is dead. Can you take a picture with me?" "Sure." Hwamin didn't think much about the child's request. She took a picture with the phone in the little girl's hand. Then the little girl took out a lollipop in her hand. "Auntie, this is for you." "Thank you." The little girl's eyes were innocent. Hwamin hesitated for a moment but still took it. "Auntie, eat it quickly. Try it. It is very sweet," the little girl urged. Chapter 35:27. Hwamin picked up the lollipop and licked it. Then he immediately lost consciousness and fainted beside the flower bed. The little girl waved her hand at the people not far behind her. Immediately, a man and a woman came out and quickly helped Hwamin into a van. The entire process took less than 2 minutes. On the other side, Chin-Chu finished buying the candied hawthorns and waited for the change to come back. He couldn't find Hwamin anymore. "Mion?" Chin-Chu tried to call out but no one answered. He was so scared that he immediately threw away the candied hawthorns in his hand and grabbed the roadside nearby. "Where's the pregnant woman in white who was sitting here just now? Did any of you see her? I'm willing to pay a lot of money for clues. Did any of you see the pregnant woman?" Chin-Chu began to search crazily but everyone shook their heads. After all, everyone was watching the show at that time. Who would have noticed the flower bed behind them? At this time there was a homeless child. He was dirty from head to toe and looked to be about 14 or 15 years old. "Uncle, I saw her." "Tell me, where is she?" Chin-Chu grabbed the child's shoulder excitedly, ignoring the dirt on him. "Can you buy me a hamburger first?" Pointing at the KFC at the edge of the square, the child revealed a yearning look. Chin-Chu didn't say anything and took out 1,000 yuan from his pocket. He handed it to the child. "This is all for you. Tell me, where is my wife? I saw her eat a lollipop given to her by a little girl and then fainted. Then a man and a woman ran out and took her into a van." "Okay, thank you." Chin-Chu was a little excited and immediately called Gao Ran. He asked Gao Ran to contact the branch here and find the van from the surveillance footage. His pregnant wife was missing. That was more terrifying than Chin-Chu's life. "To calm down. Mion is so smart, she'll be fine." Gao Ran comforted him on the phone. "I can't stay calm. Those people who kidnapped Mion will die when they fall into my hands." Chin-Chu cursed loudly in the police station's surveillance camera, not caring about his image as a Prince Charming. "Then why don't I drive over to find you now?" Gao Ran said. "No, I just need to know where the van went. I can do it myself." At this time, the van had already left the city and was moving along the bumpy mountain road. Hwamin's phone had been thrown away by them, so it was impossible for him to make a call. Chin-Chu had placed a tracker on Hwamin's phone. When he followed the location, he found that it was in the hands of a passerby. Without his phone, it would be troublesome to find him. "Have you found anything?" In the surveillance room, Chin-Chu urged the police officers. "Mr. Chin, please calm down. It will be done soon." Then a video was zoomed in. On the screen, a man and a woman were helping Hwamin into the car. "Mr. Chin, is this your wife?" "Yes, it's her." "Tell me the license plate number." The police officers zoomed in on the license plate number, S1446. "I think I've seen this number before. It doesn't look like a van's license plate." One of the police officers muttered to himself. "We'll know once we check the owner's information." Sure enough, when they checked the information, they found that it wasn't a van's license plate. In other words, The van was an illegal vehicle with a set of license plates. It really is an illegal vehicle. What do we do now? Continue to follow the van and find out where it's heading, Chin Chu said decisively. But if the van has left the city, it'll be difficult to track it down with fewer and fewer surveillance cameras. Chapter 35:28. We still have to find her even if we have to die. Chin Chu clenched his fists tightly. He couldn't relax for even a moment. Later, while Chin Chu went to the bathroom, a few police officers were still gossiping. What do you think this person's background is? I heard that he's super rich. According to reliable sources, he's close friends with Chief Gao of Sea City. Yeah, I saw that his clothes and shoes are all top brands and his watch is worth millions. He should be super rich. That's true. He's so rich. Something happens to his wife, what's the point of having so much money? Forget it, let's not talk about this anymore. Let's help him find her. After all, she went missing in our territory. When Huimin secretly opened her eyes, the car was still driving on the road. She was placed on the back seat of the van. There were only 3 people in front, a man, a woman, and a child. The child was the one who gave her the lollipop. Huimin didn't eat the lollipop at all because she was very vigilant now. When she saw the child repeatedly urging her to eat the candy, she knew that there must be something wrong with the candy. Suddenly, she thought of a report she saw a long time ago. It said that one of the methods of human trafficking was now used. It was to use children as bait because both adults and children had no resistance to children. So naturally they would let down their guard. There were many cases of children kidnapping other children and children kidnapping adults. Huimin had been a doctor for many years. The anesthetic on the lollipop faintly emitted the smell. She knew when she put it to the tip of her nose and sniffed it. But why was she willing to pretend to be unconscious and be kidnapped when she knew? There were 2 reasons. First, since they targeted Huimin, the child definitely didn't commit the crime alone. There must be an adult or a gang behind her to support and protect her secretly. If she didn't eat the candy at this time, they might have other worse methods. If they pushed her and she fell, it would inevitably hurt the fetus. She definitely couldn't fight force with force. Second, since it was obvious that this was a criminal gang, the purpose of targeting her was obvious. They must be kidnapping women and children. If Huimin took the opportunity to sneak in, he might be able to find more victims and think of a way to escape together. Then they would wipe out this criminal gang in one fell swoop, which would be very satisfying. She knew that as long as she didn't make a move, she wouldn't be hurt at all. The 3 people in front did not seem to have expected that the hostage had already woken up and was very conscious. The little girl sat on the chair in the middle, holding potato chips in her hand and eating them with relish. Hubby, we can make a fortune this time. We haven't gotten a pregnant woman in a long time. Isn't it? Previously we sold each woman for 50,000 yuan. Now that we have an adult and a child, we will definitely ask for more. I don't know if it's a boy or a girl. If it's a boy, we'll ask for 150,000. I'm sure there will be buyers willing to buy it. Why don't you bring her to the clinic for a checkup? Don't you know Dr. Liu from the town hospital? Forget it. There are too many people there. I'm afraid of causing more trouble. How about this? Anyway, those country people don't understand these things. We'll insist that this woman is pregnant with a boy. 1 adult and 1 child, and the fixed price is 150,000 yuan. Not a penny is cheap. What do you think? Then after we get the money this time, we'll have to hide for a while, the woman said. Why? There are still a few months before the new year. If we stop so quickly, don't we want to make money? The man driving was obviously unwilling. Boss, I have a feeling that this pregnant woman is from a rich family. I'm afraid that after we finish this business, we will offend someone and someone will target us. How do you know that she's from a rich family? After saying that, the man driving looked back. Huimin quickly closed his eyes and continued to pretend to be unconscious. Chapter 35:29. Look at this and you'll know. The woman held Huimin's bag in her hand. What's this? The man obviously didn't understand. Although I don't know the brand or series of this bag, I saw a very popular female celebrity on TV carrying the exact same bag. The news even said that this bag costs more than 100,000 RMB. It's more than 100,000 RMB. Do you know? Silly woman. Don't you know there's a kind of imitation? Didn't you see it when we went to the night market? LV or whatever it is, they're everywhere. Who knows which one is real and which one is from? The cheap imitation bags are only 20 to 30 yuan. Everyone can afford them. No. Mr. Huo, look at the things in her bag. The woman opened one of Huo Min's bags. The woman knew what it was. It was indeed a new classic from Dior, priced at 158,000 yuan. A famous female star was endorsing in Asia, so she naturally had an identical bag. Huo Min didn't want to give up these things when Lu Yan was here. The girl was always out and about, so she bought all kinds of things. Huo Min did a rough calculation of the days Lu Yan was in China. Including the allowance for pudding and Little Bean, the shopping and all kinds of expenses, Lu Yan probably spent 30 to 40 million yuan. Of course, these astronomical figures were nothing to Lu Yan. They couldn't compare to the money she earned in one night in Las Vegas. The woman opened Huo Min's bag. It was very simple. They threw out their cell phones in case they were followed. There were only some things Huo Min used and a bottle of Chanel perfume in the bag. There was also a pack of tissues and a classic red Chanel lipstick. There was also a short purse with a famous brand. It was a burgundy Prada women's purse. Whoa. There's a purse. Open it and see how much money it has. The man was obviously not very excited. Huo Min didn't carry too much cash with him. He only kept 3,000 to 4,000 yuan as a backup. So the woman took out a stack of cash and checked it. Mr. Huo, there's more than 3,600 yuan here, the woman exclaimed. Wow, that's quite a lot. Ah, what an unexpected gain. Husband, how can an ordinary woman carry so much money on the streets? Wife, don't be nervous. She's a pregnant woman. Maybe she always has some money on her in case she gives birth? But I think she's only 5 or 6 months pregnant. She doesn't look like she's about to give birth. She might be the daughter-in-law of a rich family. The woman still insisted on her feelings. So what if she's a rich man's wife? She still fell into our hands. I'm afraid that if her family has some power, we'll be implicated if they investigate further. You're thinking too much. Did you forget about Dongzi and his gang? Didn't they kidnap the daughter of the director of the labor bureau? What happened in the end? That woman begged and begged, but her family still paid a ransom of 300,000 yuan for her, not a cent less. Furthermore, they didn't call the police. I heard that the woman was even done with by Dongzi. That's why those officials and rich people might not be capable. Their money isn't clean either. When they encounter us, they can only blame themselves for being unlucky. But I'm still a little worried. You women are so troublesome. You're timid and ignorant. Women just don't know much. Okay, stop wasting time. When we reach Kaoshan town, we'll take a rest and then pick a few good goods and bring them along. This time we'll go to Erdaegu. There are a lot of bachelors there. These few days the harvest is good, so we should have some money. Hearing this, Huo Min understood. These people were human traffickers and they had done a lot of shady things. She was so angry that she wanted to stand up and beat this couple to death. But she knew that now wasn't the time to fight back. She should have a chance to see their hideout later. Chapter 35:30. Other than Gao Ran, no one in Sea City knew about Huo Min's disappearance. After dinner, Siyu was bored. He wanted to send a WeChat message to Huo Min and ask her about Han Yueyao's future. However, after a while Huo Mian didn't reply. He thought she was busy and waited for a long time, but there was still no response. He was a little anxious, so he made a call. But she couldn't get through, so you called Pudding. Pudding was playing with Little Bean in the living room of South Hill Manor. Handsome Sue. Pudding, is your mom working the night shift? Is she at Southside? No, she's on a business trip. A business trip? When did that happen? Yesterday. Oh no, it was the day before yesterday. Where did she go? In a city. When did she come back? I don't know. I heard she was supposed to come back yesterday, but for some reason she didn't come back. Did she go alone? Zee was worried. Of course not. My daddy went too. Oh, that's more like it. Handsome Sue, why are you looking for my mommy? Is it urgent? It's nothing urgent. Just some business. If you can't get through, her phone is probably out of battery. You can call my daddy. Hey, you guys have fun. After hanging up, Sue still felt uneasy. For some reason, Huo Min's phone rarely ran out of battery. So even though Sue knew it wasn't right, he still called Qin Chu. After the call went through, Qin Chu sounded tired. Qin Chu, I know. I can't get through to Huamin's phone. There was silence on the other end of the line. I heard you guys are on a business trip. Are you guys together? I want to ask her about her sister Han Yueyao's future development. There was still silence on the other end of the phone. Hey, are you still listening to me? So you thought the signal was bad. I did. Then, Suyu Huamin is not with me. She was kidnapped. What? Suyu wondered if he had misheard. Kidnapped? What the hell is this? Suyu stood up excitedly. The two of us were originally going to the square for a walk. When I went to buy her candied haws, she was targeted by human traffickers. She was drugged and taken away. Because the license plate number was a fake, it was a little difficult to trace it. After screening, that license plate number was related to a group of people who have been frequently committing crimes recently. Fuck. Why didn't you tell me something so big happened? So you felt like his heart was about to jump out of his chest. Is there any point in telling you? Distant water cannot quench present thirst. I'll drive over to you now. No need. It'll be more troublesome if there are more people. I'll find her. With that, Chin-Chu hung up. Suyu couldn't sit still anymore. He stood up abruptly. Let's go. Let's drive to S-City. Huh. So late. Why are we going there? And was playing with his phone in the living room. When he heard that Suyu was going to the neighboring city, he was also dumbfounded. Something happened to Mion. I have to go find her. Something happened to Dr. Hua again, and was shocked. Suyu briefly told him about it. Then he turned around and was about to leave. President Su. Wait a minute. What? I think President Qin doesn't want us to go. Aren't we being a little nosy? Dr. Hua has her husband and she has family to deal with everything. President Su, as a friend, aren't you going a little too far? And felt that Suyu's timing wasn't right for him to rush to the neighboring city at this time. After all, it wasn't his wife who had gone missing. Chapter 35-31. And even you think so? President Su. I've been with you for years. Do you think I'll hurt you? It's not about hurting me. Suyu was conflicted. You really need to give up on something. I know you still like Dr. Hua, but can you try to calm yourself down? Don't panic every time she's in trouble and your husband hasn't done anything yet. That's so embarrassing. I don't want you to be like that. Do you think so of me too? President Su, Dr. Hua will be fine. He's been through a lot. Now that she's pregnant, she'll take better care of herself, Su Qingsang said. You're right. Besides, Chin-Chu is better than me. He'll save her. Yes. The whole world knows that Chin-Chu loves his wife. But you don't even know that you like Dr. Hua. Don't make it complicated. I won't go. In the end, Suyu gave up because of Anne's words. Indeed, even if he went, he wouldn't be able to change anything. He liked Huamian and he didn't seem to know it himself. Maybe it had become a habit. He had said many times that he would let it go, but he couldn't stay calm when something happened to her. President Su, go to bed early. Our company has a new film release tomorrow. Since Miss Nye Lingxian left, we don't have any female stars to support the show. And complained, who's the lead? Fu asked. Not from our company. She's an artist from another company. She's very popular. She's the female lead of several popular TV series. Her name is Chin Eileen. What's her? I remember her. Yeah. A lot of media will be there tomorrow. Our company invested in this film and spent a lot of money to invite Miss Chin to support the show. President Su, you must promote it well. After all, you have many female fans on Weibo. And chuckled, get out of here. After scolding and Su suddenly remembered something. He picked up his cell phone and called Han Yueyao on WeChat. Come out. Such an unyielding tone was more like Suyu's personality. Han Yueyao was even more unique. Her big boss sent her a WeChat message, but she only replied with a question mark. I'll have my driver pick you up tomorrow morning. What? Han Yueyao was alarmed. What do you think? I'll sell you. I'm worthless. Suyu, then I'll eat you. Suyu deliberately replied in a bad mood. I have body odor. I don't think it's a good idea to kill President Su, who would murder their own boss. Suyu, with you chatting like this, I feel like I can't continue chatting with you. Is this something a beauty should say? Suyu blushed with shame. I'm not a beauty, I'm just a noob. I don't have the burden of being an idol, so I naturally say whatever comes to mind. All right, you win. So you felt awkward. President Sue, what can I do for you? She asked. Of course. Why would I want to see you? Then tell me, President Sue. My instant noodles are almost ready. They won't taste good when they soften. I'll attend the press conference for a new film tomorrow. Come with me and show your face in front of the media. I won't go. Han Yueyao refused immediately. Why not? Because I'm not in the film. I'm not the lead or a supporting role. Why should I go? There are so many media outlets and it'll be broadcasted live. You should go and show your face. Do you know how good of an opportunity this is? You shouldn't give such a good opportunity to a trainee like me. Thank you, President Sue. I'll eat my noodles now. Bye. After refusing Suyu, she calmly opened the lid of her instant noodles and started eating. Suyu was still in a daze. And do you remember that girl named Han Yueyao? Yes. Isn't she Dr. Hua's distant sister? Yeah. Do you think she's a little dumb? Suyu asked in puzzlement with his hand on his chin. Chapter 35-32. She doesn't look like it. Miss Han looks smart. Smart my ass, you're an idiot. You're so stupid, Suyu cursed. What's wrong? I offered to introduce her to the public but she rejected me. Really? And suddenly found this Miss Han interesting. If she wasn't introduced by Mion, do you think I would talk to her? Then I won't go. If Mion asks, I can say that she didn't want to go. It has nothing to do with me. It's not like I didn't give her a chance. This girl has a personality, huh? Hey, why didn't she want to go? If she doesn't want to be famous, why did she come to Imperial Star as a trainee? Suyu couldn't figure it out. Maybe she has her own plans, and guessed. Is she trying to get my attention by playing hard to get? Suyu picked up his phone and tidied his hair in front of the screen, turning on his narcissistic mode. President Sue, I don't think you should have this idea. What idea? The idea that all the women in the world like you. Look at President Qin, he doesn't. Go away, I'm the coolest, I'm the most popular with women. And didn't know whether to laugh or cry at President Sue's stubbornness. In the end, Suyu didn't go to the neighboring city but he was worried. He thought about Anne's words carefully and found that they made sense. He couldn't know them too much. Something happened to Huamin, there was still Qin Chu. What was the point of him going there? Even so, Suyu still sent a WeChat message to Qin Chu. Let me know if there's any news from Mion. Qin Chu replied immediately, okay. City, Qin Chu rolled up his black long-sleeved shirt, covering the diamonds on the cuffs, hiding his luxurious and noble appearance. He leaned on the police chair and the two watched the big screen in the surveillance center together. Hey, that's weird. President Qin, we've checked it several times. The car just mysteriously disappeared. Is there another passage under the bridge? Qin Chu had been tracking the van, but the strange thing was, when they followed the video and saw the van enter a cave, it disappeared. Then they turned on the surveillance camera at the exit and saw that other cars were coming and going, but the van was gone. It was like magic. That can't be. Caves are usually built to avoid the risk of collapse, so both sides must be reinforced. It's impossible that there are other passages inside. Qin Chu denied the young policeman's conjecture. Then, could it be that they've been hiding in the tunnel to avoid our investigation? Not really. The tunnel is extremely unsafe. They're not idiots. They won't hide in there and wait to be hit. These human traffickers have brains. They probably used this method to avoid being tracked down by the police. What should we do now? The few police officers were dumbfounded and had no idea what was going on. Qin Chu straightened up and walked around the surveillance center a few times. His mind was spinning quickly to analyze the route taken by these human traffickers. Suddenly, I got it. Qin Chu walked over again and ordered the young policeman, pull up the video of the exit. Yes, President Qin. The young policeman followed Qin Chu's instructions and pulled up all the cars in the direction of the exit. Qin Chu found that there were only 7 cars that matched the time of the van. 4 of them were private cars which had been ruled out. Cars couldn't take the van. There was also a large bus which had been ruled out. The bus had 2 rows of seats, so there was no space for the van. There was also a half-truck which couldn't hide the van. The last car was a very long truck. The box behind the truck was very long. It was the kind of truck that specialized in transporting cars from the north to the south. That's the one. The van must have hidden here and escaped. Qin Chu pointed at it. Chapter 35-34. What a coincidence. Boss, we have to be careful. Could it be the cops? Of course not. Do you think I'm an idiot? Most of Erden's jobs are done by Fourth Master Fong. Who do you think Fourth Master Fong is? He's respected by both the government and the underworld. How could they collude with the cops? If that's the case, then there's no problem. Boss, how much did they offer? Have you negotiated with them? I was going to say 300,000 yuan. If they bargained, I'd pay them back. But guess how much they offered? How much? The man raised 2 fingers. 200,000 yuan? 200,000 yuan isn't a small amount. That's fine. We don't have to find a buyer. Let's do it, the woman said. Are you stupid? It's not 200,000 yuan. It's 2 million. What? 2 million. The woman was dumbfounded. Huamian was also shocked when she heard this. Who would be willing to spend 2 million to buy a pregnant woman in the domestic human trafficking industry? Even a good-looking baby boy would only be sold for 90,000 yuan. Women who were prettier and younger, or even college students, would only be sold for 100,000 yuan. 2 million in one go. It was definitely not that simple. Huamin became alert and listened carefully to the conversation outside. Yeah. They offered 2 million yuan. Tell me, how can I offer? The man's voice was loud and clear. He seemed to be getting more and more agitated. Then, who are they? Why are they offering so much money? The woman was uneasy. I don't have to ask. They can be whoever they want. As long as we have the money, it's fine. But, the woman was still a little scared. No buts. Nothing will happen. Fourth Master said that they'll pay with the money and deliver with the goods. In an hour, someone will come to pick up the goods. That's easy. An hour? So fast. Yeah. Maybe they're just in a hurry. Then why do you think they're spending so much money on a pregnant woman? The woman still felt that something was wrong. I don't care what they do. It's none of our business whether we kill them, cook them, eat them, or throw them away. Don't let your imagination run wild, do you understand? We're going to be rich. After we get the 2 million, we'll leave this place. I'll take you to a bigger city to buy a house and a car. We'll do some business. Let's not do this for the time being. Boss, I have a feeling that this business deal is not that easy. Say, how can there be such a thing as a free lunch in the world? You're a woman who doesn't know much. All right, you're in charge of looking after the pregnant woman. Don't let anything go wrong. You don't have to care about anything else. After saying that, the man took out his phone and walked away while making a call. Huamin shouted from inside, Big sis, your family is in trouble. Hearing Huamin's words, the woman hurriedly pushed open the door and ran in. What nonsense are you talking about? I'm not spouting nonsense. Let me tell you, I've heard your conversation just now. The people who will come to pick me up in an hour will be extremely vicious. At that time, not only will you not be able to get the money, your entire family will die. Shut up. Don't jinx it. If you keep talking, I'll slap you. Hearing Huamin's scary words, the woman was furious. She raised her hand to slap Huamin's face. Chapter 35-35. To tell you the truth, sis, I'm not from an ordinary family. My family has many enemies whose identities you can't even imagine. I suggest that if you want to live, take me with you. Just run. Otherwise, when those people come, you'll be dead. Do you really think you have 2 million yuan? I'm afraid it'll be a bloodbath. Huamin didn't know who wanted to buy her for 2 million yuan, but the man said it was Mr. Fong's man. This meant that there must be a local gang involved. Qin Chu would never stay away from these people, so it couldn't be Mr. Qin. Then, the person who wanted to buy her with a large sum of money wasn't a good person. Lu Yan had told her to be careful. She was now the target of many people. Huamin knew there were many possibilities. Ian, Nalo, Huasiqian who escaped, and the mysterious people who rescued Huasiqian. They all seemed to be vaguely related to his father, Professor Lu. Instinctively, if she fell into those people's hands, she wouldn't be able to escape. So Huamin had to find a way to escape before that happened. She couldn't wait for death here. Just now, she heard that this woman seemed to be a little worried. After all, a sudden windfall could also be an unexpected disaster. But the man was obviously blinded by money and only had 2 million yuan left. Are you telling the truth? Why would I lie to you? When you kidnapped me, you should know that my bags are expensive. Do you think ordinary people can afford such expensive bags? Then you might be a high-quality imitation. You're also a woman. Even if you don't know the brand, you should know the material. Does that material look like a high-quality imitation? Big sister, I think you're smarter than your husband. Whether or not your family is in danger depends on your decision this time. We're in a fight between rich and powerful families. My husband has offended many people in his business over the years. It's normal for those people to want to catch me. But let me tell you, they won't buy me with 2 million yuan. With my understanding of them, they'll only kill your whole family. Don't scare me. I don't believe you. Alright, I've said so much. If you don't believe me, then just wait for death. Anyway, I'll be fine. Those people took me away just to threaten my husband. It's just a pity that you two are still young and your child is still young. Hee. Huamin gave him a meaningful sneer. This made the woman's heart tremble. The woman was already suspicious of the deal. She had been a human trafficker for several years. All these years, not only them, even among their peers, they had never heard of anyone doing a business worth 2 million yuan. Who would be willing to spend so much money on a living person? After Huamin finished speaking, the woman felt even more uneasy. Dang was spinning around on the spot and his expression was not very good. Big sister, why don't we work together? How? You take me with you. Let's run away first. If your husband knows that we've run away, he'll definitely come after us. This way you won't be in danger. Don't try to get the 2 million yuan. You won't get it if you lose your life. If this continues, you'll be dead when those people come. They have guns and they kill without batting an eyelid. Do you understand? But, if my husband knows that I let you go, he'll kill me. Obviously, this woman was afraid of her husband. Even if you don't think about others, you have to think about your daughter. You don't want her to die on the streets with you, right? Huamin continued to attack the woman's weakness. After hearing Huamin's words, the woman seemed to waver. Chapter 35-36. After the woman heard this, her face gradually turned pale. Then she turned around and ran. Hey, where are you going? Huamin didn't expect this to happen. I'm going to talk to my husband. After saying this, the woman ran out. Huamin only felt that this woman was too stupid. It was obvious that her husband didn't intend to let Huamin go, nor did he believe Huamin's words. If he went to her husband, the result would be that none of them could escape. It would only be a waste of time. Thinking of this, Huamin didn't waste any more time. He began to untie these useless ropes. Then he planned to escape by himself. Stop, you can't leave. The child blocked Huamin at the door. It was the child who tried to drug Huamin with a lollipop. She was quite good-looking and cute, but at this moment Huamin didn't like her at all. Do you know that your parents are doing bad things? Huamin looked at the child sternly. If you run, I'll call for help. Go back obediently. If my dad catches you, he'll beat you to death. The child actually threatened Huamin. I won't let you have the chance to call for help because just as he finished speaking, the little girl felt the back of her neck go numb and immediately fainted on the ground. Behind her neck were the silver needles that Huamin always carried with him. At this moment, the power of a doctor was demonstrated. Huamin carried many silver needles, all of which were soaked in anesthetic. This was to protect herself at critical moments. Sure enough, it came in handy. Otherwise, she wouldn't have dared to beat him at his own game. When she walked out, she found that there were many small warehouses like this in the yard. She had learned from the conversation between the man and woman. There should be many women and children locked up here. They were all called goods and planned to sell them. Originally, Huamin had planned to rescue everyone after Qin Chu and his men arrived. However, Huamin felt a chill run down his spine at the sight of the mysterious buyer who had offered 2 million yuan. She couldn't wait any longer, so she planned to run out first, find her husband, and then call the police to save these people. Huamin found a woman in the courtyard and dressed herself up as a village woman. She even wore a hat and quietly slipped away from the backyard. The woman found a man drinking in a restaurant not far away. Master, I have something urgent to tell you. We men are drinking. Why are you interfering? Get lost. The man was obviously in a good mood and was already slightly drunk. That's right, sister-in-law. Brother Rong is finally happy. Don't worry about it. Master, it's really important. We have to take that pregnant woman out of here. Otherwise we'll be in danger. Danger my ass. That pregnant woman is very cunning. Don't listen to her. You're an honest man. You must have been bewitched by her. Chapter 35-37. It's not me. I don't know anything. You're still saying it's not you? Then who else could it be? You bitch, I knew you would ruin my plans. I'm going to beat you to death today. With that, the man started punching and kicking the woman. At this moment, the man behind him quickly stopped him. Brother Rong, don't hit her. Let's look for her first. I've already talked to the buyer. If we can't deliver the goods when the buyer comes, we'll be done for. Not only will we ruin our reputation, Fourth Master Fong won't let us off. Yes. Let's go look for her first. Erdan, send more people. That woman is pregnant. She can't run far with a big belly. With that, the men started looking around. After Qin Chu recognized it, he knew that they had hidden the van in a big truck. Following the surveillance cameras, he finally found that the van was parked near Kaohsiung town. Then, without another word, Qin Chu ignored the police's advice and went to Kaohsiung town alone. In order to speed up, he even bought an Audi R8 from the local 4S shop. Why did he buy so many Audi cars when he already had so many? Why did this car appear so often? Because this was Huamin's favorite car. It was small, beautiful and low-key. Qin Chu drove the white Audi R8 all the way to Kaohsiung town. At this moment, Huamin didn't go far. Of course, she couldn't walk far with a big belly. She had planned to go to the local police station to report the case and let the police send her out. But later she thought it was inappropriate. What if those people who paid a lot of money killed the police? Also, who knew if the police in these remote areas colluded with the local gangs? Huamin had heard the husband and wife mention Fourth Master Fong more than once. If this Fourth Master Fong was secretly in cahoots with the police, wouldn't she be a lamb in a tiger's den? After thinking about it, Huamin didn't rashly leave Kaohsiung town. Instead, she found a farmer near the town to stay. In order not to arouse suspicion, she found a house where only the old lady was at home. Then he told the old lady that he had come to look for his relatives but couldn't find them. It was already dark and he didn't have a place to stay, so he asked the old lady to take him in. It was obvious that the old man lived alone. His house was rather shabby, so he would not be suspected easily. "Grandma, I don't have any money on me. When my family comes to pick me up, I'll ask them to give you some money. Is that okay? It's free. It's not easy for a woman like you to be pregnant. Just stay here and leave early tomorrow morning." The old madam was a kind person and did not accept Huamin's money. Indeed, Huamin did not bring any money with him. His bag was with the woman, and the cash inside had been taken away by the human traffickers. "Thank you, Grandma. Are you hungry? I'll cook something for you." "Let me do it. I know how to cook too. I'll cook for you, Grandma." Chapter 35-38. "Oh, it's very expensive. I think Wang Hohat's neighbor has one. Her husband bought it for her after he worked." "Oh." Huamin nodded and started thinking. She was thinking about how to borrow a phone without arousing suspicion. "Girl, where are you from?" "City." "Wow, it's a big city." "It's okay." Huamin smiled and held the bowl of noodles in her hand. The hot aroma wafted into her nose. Although there wasn't a piece of meat or a lot of oil, it smelled better than the food made in restaurants. Perhaps Huamian was hungry from all that torture. She ate and chatted with the grandma. "Girl, you're not familiar with this place. Why are you here looking for relatives? Tomorrow morning you should leave by car. Don't stay here." "What's wrong, Grandma? Is there a problem here?" "Say, it's a sin. I don't even know how to tell you." The grandma sat on the doorstep and sighed. "I won't tell anyone," Huamin emphasized. "We used to be quite peaceful here. Later on, human trafficking suddenly sprung up. Do you know that it's illegal? But those crazy people would do anything for money. Children, women, anything that can be sold. We did become rich in the past few years, but it's not because of proper business. Those people will get their retribution sooner or later. Girl, you're an outsider and you're pregnant. If you get targeted by those bad guys, you'll be finished." "Grandma, don't the police care about what those bad people do?" Huamin asked tentatively. "Police? Those people took the money and turned a blind eye to it. Fortunately, they weren't locals. They just kept bringing people back from outside. This place is finished. Ever since my old man died, my eldest daughter and her family of 3 moved away. Not long after, my youngest son went out to work. If it weren't for me being reluctant to leave this place, I would have left long ago. This place needs to be cleaned up. Those human traffickers are despicable. Huamin finished the grandma's noodles with a heavy heart. Seeing that the old grandma's legs seemed to be inconvenient, he even took the initiative to take her pulse. Little girl, you know how to treat illnesses. Yes, I'm a doctor. Wow, you're already a doctor at such a young age. It was obvious that the old granny worshipped doctors. I'm not young anymore, Grandma. I'm almost 30 years old. After taking her pulse, Huamin stood up. Grandma, your body is a little weak. Do you cough often? Yes. My lungs aren't good. Every year before winter I would cough for a long time. It's an old problem. The old granny nodded. Well, it's not a big problem. Don't catch a cold. When I get home, I'll send someone to bring you some Chinese medicine. Drink it well. No, those medicines are too expensive. The old granny waved her hand. It's okay. You don't have to spend money. I'll give it to you. At this moment, the old lady was about to speak. Then he heard a commotion outside. Huamin saw a group of people walking in from afar. You guys search house by house. Even if you have to dig 3 feet into the ground, you can't let him run away. That's our god of fortune. As soon as he heard the voice, he knew that it was a human trafficker. Huamin's face immediately changed. Grandma, I have to hide. They're all bad people. Quick, hide in the water tank behind me. I don't know how to swim. It's okay. There's no water inside. The old granny quickly led Huamin to the dark back room. There was a dilapidated water tank with some dried cabbage in it. A strong smell of rotten cabbage wafted out. Huamin made up his mind. He stepped on a stool and jumped into the tank. Then the old granny covered the tank with a red cloth. After everything was done, the group of people rushed in. What's the matter? The old granny looked at these people. Damn old woman, do you see a pregnant woman? The leader of the human trafficker looked fierce. Chapter 35-39. What big belly? I don't see it. The old lady's attitude was very unfriendly. Stop wasting time. Let's search. The trafficker then led the way in. The old lady's house was small and run down, so he walked around twice and was about to leave when he didn't see anyone. However, just as he was about to leave, he noticed that there seemed to be a dark back room. What's that place? A barn, the old lady said. Blackie, go in and search. The leader of the trafficker obviously didn't dare to enter, so he asked his men to go in and search. The young man mustered up his courage and walked in with the old lady following behind him. The barn was very small. Other than some broken farm tools, there was only a dilapidated water tank. What's this? Blackie was curious and reached out to open the water tank. Huamin covered his mouth and held his breath. He was so nervous that his heart was about to stop. Just as his hand was about to touch the water tank, the old lady picked up a feather duster and hit his hand hard. Old lady, what are you doing? You can't touch it. Didn't you see the red cloth? This is where Huang Daxian put his food. I picked up all the dead chickens and ducks. If you want to open it, I won't stop you. But don't say I didn't warn you. If Huang Daxian gets angry, don't blame me for your bad luck. Blackie was scared when he heard the old lady's words. In the north there was a legend about the 2 immortals. Who was a fox and Huang was a weasel. The older generation believed in this, especially in the countryside. So when the man heard this, he felt very strange. Even if he had 10 times the courage, he wouldn't dare to open it. If Huang Daxian got revenge, he would be done for. So Blackie hurried out of the barn. How was it? Did you find anything? The trafficker asked. No, nothing. Let's go to the next one. Then the group of people left one after another. Huamin could finally jump out of the water tank. Girl, are you okay? Grandma, I'm fine. Oh, they want to catch you? Grandma, I'll tell you the truth. I was caught by that human trafficker and was about to be sold, but I ran away on my own. Huamin didn't want to continue lying to the old granny. He felt that she was a good person and even helped him just now. Oh, what a sin. Even pregnant women and children are not spared. Girl, you should leave tomorrow morning. Grandma, it will be too late tomorrow morning. I have to leave in a while. What Huamin was afraid now was that when the person who bought her at a high price arrived, it would be difficult to leave. It's getting dark now. Where are you going? It's not safe. There are people outside. If you go out, you'll be caught. Although the old granny was old, she didn't look foolish. Grandma, didn't you just say that a neighbor has a cell phone? I want to borrow it from her house. I want to call my family. My family will come and pick me up. All right, let's go. I'll bring you to Hohat's house. Huamin and the old lady waited until the human traffickers had turned the entire village upside down and left. Hohat's house wasn't far from the old lady's house. After walking for less than 50 meters, they arrived. It was also a house that didn't look very good. But there seemed to be a lot of people inside. A white SUV was parked at the door. There seems to be a guest in his house, Huamin murmured. Since there were so many people, they couldn't go in. It would be bad if their whereabouts were exposed. Huamin was about to leave with the old lady when the door of Hohat's house was pushed open. A young woman walked out with a roasted potato in her hand and was eating it with relish. Ro. Huamin was shocked. Yes, the woman who walked out was none other than Xingro. Chapter 35-40. Hearing Huamin's words, Xingro saw her. She was so scared that she threw the potatoes away. Huamian. Xingro was also in disbelief. Xingro, is it really you? Excited to see an acquaintance here, Huamin immediately rushed over. Yeah. Why are you here? Xingro looked at Huamian from head to toe and found that she seemed to be alone. It's a long story. I'll tell you later. Huamin didn't tell her how she got here. After all, she wasn't sure if she was safe. I went hiking with some friends and then went to the harvest garden. When we came back, it was already dark. We thought we'd stay at Auntie Hohat's for the night. You know the owner of this house? Yeah. Auntie Hohat used to be my friend's housekeeper. Our families have always been close. She wanted to see Auntie Hohat and we wanted to eat farmhouse food, so we came and stayed for one night. Hearing her explanation, Huamin looked at the off-road vehicle in front of the door with suspicion. It was too much of a coincidence that Xingro showed up. Why was she here? Was she related to those people who paid a lot of money? Huamin, what's wrong? Oh, nothing. Xingro, can you lend me your phone? Sure. Without a word, Xingro took out her phone and handed it to Huamin. She took the phone and called Qin Chu with Xingro's phone. The call went through after 3 rings. Huamin walked to a remote corner. Oh. Qin Chu's deep and pleasant voice came from the other side of the phone. Honey, it's me. Mian? Where are you? Are you hurt? Are you okay? Qin Chu was worried sick. I'm fine. Don't worry. Listen to me. I'm in a village near Kaohsiung town. I think it's called Red Cloud Village. I'll reach Kaohsiung town in 30 minutes. Wait for me to pick you up. No. You must not come. You must not enter Leaning Mountain Town. Why? I don't have time to explain it to you. Honey, how about this? Stop the car now and send me a location based on this number. I'll go find you now. No, I'm worried. I'll go pick you up. Qin Chu insisted on picking him up personally. Honey, I'm really fine. I'm with Xingro. Xingro? Qin Chu also seemed surprised. I'll explain this to you later. Hurry up and send me your location. We'll meet up with you now, and then we have to leave this place immediately. All right then. Qin Chu believed that Huamin had a plan. So, at her request, he parked the car in a nearby parking lot and sent her a location on his cell phone. Receiving Qin Chu's location, Huamin said to Xingro in a low voice, "Can you lend me your car? I'll drive to meet up with my husband. When we get back, I'll have someone send the car back to you. Of course, you can come with me." What's wrong? Why are you in such a hurry? It's getting dark. Xingro was puzzled. Huamin studied her eyes and found that she really didn't know that those people were coming. Someone wants to catch me. I must leave this place. Huamin lowered her voice. What? Catch you? Xingro was even more surprised. It's too late. Let's go now. Huamin pointed at Xingro's car and said. Huamin had called Qin Chu with Xingro's cell phone. If Xingro was really in trouble, Qin Chu wouldn't let her go. So Huamin decided to take the risk and use Xingro's car to leave this damned place. Hey, let's go now. I'll go and call my friends out. Then Xingro went into the house and called out the 2 girls who came out with her. I'll drive. I can drive fast, Huamin offered. You're tuning in to the Romantic Tales YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.